Hello there, my Cancerian Crabbies. How are you today? Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this full moon to new moon next for September 2019. If you're new to the channel, I am your reader for the moment, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, the professional witch. Yes, I am a witch. You can't tell by the pentacles behind me, and the Greek gods, by the way. Yeah, I've been doing this since I'm 12 years old. I just turned 51 last Friday, September 6th. So this I was born on a full moon. This Saturday, technically it's like a little after midnight on Saturday, so it's not Friday the 13th. It's Saturday the 14th, at least according to my astrological calendar. But that's the full moon I was born on. Yay! So actually, I'm going to be doing a drunk tarot for that. I'm going to be reading a dear Virgo sister of mine here at the house. It should be fun. Looking forward to that. So I'm trying to get these readings out and done before that full moon, right? So let's dive in. The blessing of the decks was really, really easy and wonderful, and I felt the energy and the blessing pass through me, which makes sense with Pisces moon. We're dealing with Cancer. I'm working with the goddess Hera, it's the Morrigan, but you know, the Morrigan and Hera I wouldn't say they're exactly the same, but they're sisters, so they don't mind sharing that for this work at least. So all of the decks that I read are in the description box below, as well as you can make a donation now. I got the PayPal me thing. And if you'd like to book a private reading with me, all that info is down there too. So please like and subscribe, because we're going to give you, to start with, a Caroline Myss archetype card to look at the archetypal pattern you are dealing with for this waning moon, because we're talking about a full moon to new moon next. You might want to check your new moon to full moon that I did a week ago, more than a week ago. For all of this, you know, it'd be more than 2 weeks ago. We're going to look at what is the soul power that you are alchemizing from lead to gold, right? What is the archetypal force in you that's being developed? Now, we always have more than one developing, but this is to give you a little bit of insight, not to where you are, not what to do, what do I need, which is, for me, the most clarifying thing you can ask divination or in prayer or in meditation, because otherwise the mind thinks it knows, and the mind doesn't know. The soul knows, the spirit knows, right? So that's why I do this for you all, and why I do these for myself. You know, I pick a card a day from each of my decks, and you know, but the thing is, what do I need today? Like, what do I need to look at? What do I need to think about? What do I need to embrace? What do I need to let go? Because it's always shown to me. Pretty much like GPS, right? But I get to choose. Right? It's not I'm bound to do it, but I always give it my best. So here we go. Gird your loins, Cancerians. Here we go. My collective pantheon of angels, gods, and masters, please. One card. What is the archetype that this Cancerian collective sun, moon, rising sign is developing, is alchemizing from lead to gold this full moon to new moon next? Oh, the detective. This one popped up, I think, for either, well, I've only done Aries, Taurus, Gemini. I think it might have been Taurus, the detective here. You know, I'm still working with my lighting here. It's a little overcast today, so I don't get the usual natural light. I will read the light and I will read the light and the shadow of that once I've got the first line out. But I can feel that already, Cancerians. There's something highly intuitive about this card anyway, that you feel like something's off. Something's off. Maybe in you, maybe in somebody else, don't know. But I can feel that. It's like something is being hidden. Cancerians are really good at hiding things, not like Scorpios or Pisces. But to really trust your gut, I'm telling you that right off the bat, what you need to do is really like go deep and figure out if what you're feeling is just emotion or intuition, because they're not the same thing at all. You can be having a bad day and can color your intuition, right? So let's ask the angels. Angels, please, a card of clarity. What's going on for this Cancerian collective sun, moon, rising sign this full moon to new moon next? What do they need? Balance. Okay, so maybe something is unbalanced within you or within what you're getting. That you know, intuition, yes, there is third eye intuition, but Cancerians, you tend to get at lower 3 chakras, right? The something's off. So we're going to clarify these. Last time I did these, they were quickies. This time the guides were like, nope, do clarifiers. This one's important. Okay, so saith I. My gods, Hera in particular, but really any of the gods that wish to contribute here for the well-being of all, can you please tell these Cancerian collective sun, moon, rising signs what they need in terms of this detective archetype with balance? What do they need for this full moon to new moon next? Well, there we have it, the witch. Now, in this deck, it's the witch. It is the card of the magician in the traditional tarot. See, she's got all the elements, but rather than them all being on a table, she's wearing them and holding them and putting them into action. So I'm going to say that there is definitely some action here for you to take to bring things into balance. But my sense here is it might be a little covert on your side because detectives, sorry, my kitty cats are having fun. I'm not sorry, my kitty cats are having fun. That there is something covert here that, particularly if you are a witch, if you are a magical practitioner of some kind, that there is a way to bring balance here, perhaps without you having to be so overt about it. Let's ask the masters. My masters, please clarify. What does this Cancerian collective sun, moon, rising sign need for this full moon to new moon next? This detective with the issue of balance and the card of the witch, the magician, what do they need? This one. They need this one. Oh, an adventure. So, you know, a detective on an adventure. I highly recommend that you go watch the Hercule Poirot series that, I don't know if it's still on Netflix. It might be on BritBox now. But, you know, Hercule Poirot was never really local. He traveled all over the place. Death on the Nile. Murder on the Nile? Evil on the Nile. Murder on the Orient Express, right? He's always traveling. So it was always an adventure for him of finding the clues. And we're going to end out this first line before I start bringing in clarifiers with the Whispers of Love. I love this deck so much. Flames on the side of my third eye. My collective pantheon of angels, gods, and masters. I hear you. Please, a whisper of love for this Cancerian collective sun, moon, rising sign from this full moon to new moon next. This detective with balance and the witch and adventure. What do they need? Top card. Love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. So you might be the detective looking for love here, there, and everywhere, not realizing that it is all around you. And I know that's sort of I know it's very then I have the Mary Tyler Moore theme in my head. If you're a millennial and you don't know who Mary Tyler Moore is, really millennials? No, I'm kidding. I love my millennials. My past life son is a millennial. So let me read this detective for you, okay? What I love about these cards is that they are thumbnail sketches of archetypal soul powers, routing systems of soul power that just like any detective, there are clues here, right? Oh, and I never realized this before. It's so funny. You can look at a card. I've had these for decades. Look at the detective. She's seeing through a book. I don't know if you can see that. Do you see? It's like the book has become like a half mask, right? So there is something. You're doing that Cancerian crab shell thing, right? Behind your shell while you're gathering intel. A light attribute, great powers of observation and intuition, right? That intuitive part is really key. Desire to seek out the truth. Now, you do not have to be a professional detective. You don't have to spy, although the shadow side of that is voyeurism, which is the snoop, the spy, and falsifying the information that you find, right? So to really key to your intuitive skills. Now, look, I'm going to tell you right now, really tired of hearing people call intuition a gift. If everybody has it, it ain't a gift. Is it developed? It's a skill to be developed. So if you can take this adventure, right? So here, Perhaps you're dealing with balancing, right? You're balancing your intuition, that something might feel a little off, so you have to kind of find your own balance emotionally. How do you do that? Oh, I don't know, draw down. Perhaps draw down the moon, draw down, cast, pray. But the Magician card is always about will and choice, right? It's very Mercury. There's one deck I have, oh, the Mythic Tarot, where it's Hermes at a crossroads, right? And there's a decision to be made here, but you're still gathering intel. So don't hesitate on using other intuitive skills or magical skills, or simply go to your higher power, God, Goddess, Zeus, Buddha, Jesus, Fred, Wilma, Daphne, Shaggy, and Scooby, whoever you are. It's all one light, infinite number of lenses. Show me what I need. Show me what I need. Put me on the path. Bring the clues to me. I'm ready, right? Bring yourself into balance for that, because then you're taking it as an adventure. You know, I had a Cancerian roommate in college. I went to the Boston Conservatory for a year and a half, and then the gods co-opted me, and I dropped out because musical theater. But damn, can I tap dance. Beautiful singing voice, just not today. Clearing out a sinus infection. Not interfering with the readings, thank God. But we would go scoping and probing, get in her Dodge Omni and drive and drive and drive and drive and see what all the men in our lives were up to. Of course, it was the 80s. We didn't have the internet back then. We just had tin cans with string between them to communicate, right? And then you might very well find that love is all around you. No need to waste it. You can have the time. Why don't you take it? You're going to make it after all. Let's clarify these, because this is lovely. But this is a little simple, and I really don't like reading on the nose stuff unless it's really just like feels on the nose. So what we're going to do, we're going to start clarifying this balance card. We're going to pull one of the Daughters of the Moon Tarot and one of the Chuck Spezzano love packs for this. Pardon me. Yeah, I went to Brooklyn this past weekend, and I don't know if I had a bug before I went there, or I picked one up. Of course, the alcohol didn't help with that, nor did the amount of dairy that I consumed. Well, there's no dairy in sushi, but really good pizza. Roberta's Pizza in Bushwick. Go. Amazing pizza. Really cool playlist, too. Oh, my gods, please clarify. What does this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising sign need to know about this balance? Please, one card of clarity. Ah, walking away. Someone has walked away. Either you have walked away or someone has walked away from you. But this card in this deck, I love it, is called Withdrawal. It's really about going into the self. You know, I have to say, this I learned from Terry Pratchett so very long ago. I think it's in A Hat Full of Sky. My favorite author, unfortunately no longer incarnate. This great line, witches don't run from, they run to, right? They run toward. So running into yourself to go deeper, to bring yourself into balance might be very well what you need, because the externals here might not be much help. There may be some deception involved. There might be something going on here that you can sense something's wrong, but you just don't know what it is. So to really go within and deal with those first emotions about it, and then as those emotions come up, you bless them, you embrace them, you love them, you let them, that water flow well up and out. Then you can settle into and then go, what's going on here? And you'll get it, right? But it does feel like there needs to be some some emotional clarity here, which the only way I know how to clarify my emotions is to let them be what they are. Inner child work, shadow work, which, by the way, full moon to new moon, especially the last 3 days. I'm surprised people don't know about dark moon. The last 3 days before new moon is the darkest part of the cycle, and that's where really shadow work will happen, whether or not you're participating. I find it better to just go, honey, I've been in the underworld so many times, I own rental property there now. So my masters, please clarify this. What's going on with this balance here with withdrawal? It's hard to say, with withdrawal for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising sign. What do they need in this withdrawal for balance? What do they need? Self-consciousness, which I'm not feeling this is the usual thing with self-consciousness. It's just like, how do I look? Am I okay? Am I okay? Am I okay? It's about being conscious of what's going on inside of you. To reflect, right? The person is carrying a mirror, a little narcissistic there, at least in the picture. It's like, am I okay? Is my hair all right? Boys! Mom is working. There's all three of them. We have dominance displays here on the daily. It's a lot of alliteration for a Tuesday morning. All right, so just looking at these three, right? It's like you need to come into balance, right? Walking away, withdrawal, going into the self, but to be conscious of what's going on in there, because the subconscious mind, look, I've said to people, I'm getting some subconscious anger from you. And they're like, no, I'm not. Thanks for proving my point, right? That until we go in, we can't really make these things conscious. Even the Course in Miracles says, do not bring light to your shadows, bring your shadows to your light. In other words, bringing light to the shadows is trying to make them true, right? Trying to give them validity, where it's not that what you're feeling isn't valid, but you want to bring your shadows into light so that the illusions dissipate and you can see the nugget of gold amidst all of that lead. It's alchemy. So how much of this detective is interior detective? Starts there, right? For sure. Let's get an angel card. We're going to clarify the witch here. So my angels, please clarify what's going on with this witch card. I find it interesting that, yes, there's absolutely a choice to be made here, an action to be taken, will, right? Throat chakra stuff, Hermes, right? That Mercury energy, information. With that balance card right next to it, an adventure on the other side, I'm feeling this. This may be a very big deal. There might be something going on here. So, well, obviously there's something going on here. So my angels, please clarify, what does this Cancerian sun, moon, rising sign need to look at, know about with this witch? This full moon to new moon. Next, top card. Body care. So there may be physiological issues going on here, or what's probably really going on is something here is really affecting your physical world. That there is a healing taking place for sure. That's what the balancing and going within is about. I want to immediately get one of these, though. They're saying this will clarify it even further. My masters, please, same thing, please clarify. You've got the witch with body care here. What is this about? What do they need? What does the Cancerian collective sun, moon, rising sign, this full moon to new moon next, need on this? Fear of commitment. Now, I'm not so sure that that fear of commitment is in you, but this is something, this situation is something that is definitely affecting you physically, if not in terms of your own physiological health and about your day-to-day. That there might be somebody who you may be in a commitment with who's looking to bolt, or it can be that there's a lack of commitment to something actually moving forward, where the body, it's like it might be all thought, choice, emotion, but not into form. And what's the point of the witch? What is the point of spells or prayers or all of that stuff if you're not going to walk it, if it's not going to come into what? The physical body. So yes, do your own healing. You take care of you. You do your own mental, emotion. Really, the first line with balance was very much about emotional healing. This one feels more about physical healing. And yes, this could be interpreted, and this might be for some of you in the collective. I can't read for every Cancerian sun, moon, rising sign. Please take what resonates. I hear other readers say, please take what resonates. I would hope you'd all know that right now. Whether or not it's your reading, you can tell usually within the first 5-10 minutes whether or not it clicks for you. But maybe there is a lack of commitment there towards your own body care. So draw down the white light of spirit, which is a great way to fry yourself if you do it too much. But to really call upon, the way I would say it, God, Goddess, all that is, please heal my commitment to my own body care, or Whatever it is that's going on here, please reveal the issue. Please reveal this fear of commitment in my life, whether it's yours or someone is really afraid of committing to you or to a project or something of that nature. It's a little vague, but with such a strong major arcana card first line, this is something major. So let's look at this adventure card. We're going to clarify this just 2 more cards down and then we're done. Let's pull a tarot for that first. My gods, please clarify. Please clarify this adventure card, because they need to take this adventure. There's no question that this could even be like Path of True Love, Hero's Journey, Wise Wealth, something like that. Definitely spiritual path. And with love is all around you, sort of like the clues are everywhere, detective, my Cancerian detective. But still, something's off. I can feel it in my water, as they say. I can feel it in my blood, in my bones. Something's off here. So my gods, can you please clarify what's going on? Please clarify the adventure that they need to go on. Well, you know, and that's the thing. You've got the 10 of Cups. Not just happiness in this card. Inanna's House of Heaven. Ecstasy, right? 10 of Cups. Now, the thing about Inanna is her sister Ereshkigal. Go look up the myth of Inanna. Her descent into the underworld to embrace her shadow self, her sister. That it is through that Inanna is made whole, W-H-O-L-E, and then all 10 cups overflow. And you see that it's shared with other people. Now, this is a feminist deck, you know, so we're looking at females here. That this, you know, it's such a divine feminine deck, which is why I love it. I'm divine feminine. I mean, we all have divine masculine, divine feminine energy, but, you know, Virgo, Pisces moon, very much feminine in me. That to really take the emotional journey, oh my God, that is so Abraham Hicks. Are y'all in on this? Esther, is that you? Probably is. I love her. Blessed be Esther Hicks. But there is something here very emotional. I mean, here, how interesting. You've got the 8 of Cups and then the 10 of Cups. So there is something very emotional here. Again, this could be about emotional balance as well. Oh, it reversed. So you go there, you go there. But this adventure, there's something incredibly emotionally fulfilling. Even if you don't get what you want, take the journey. I'm not saying you're not going to get what you want on this, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. Thank you, Mick. Last card down, my masters, please. 1 card of clarification to put the cherry on this Sunday, so to speak. What does this Cancerian Sun, Moon, Rising need in terms of this ecstatic adventure? Please, a clue, a tip, a hint. Yeah, control. That there's some dynamic of control going on here, and I'm not feeling it's that good kind of control about controlling your emotions, but that you may come to the root, R-O-O-T, of what's inside of yourself that is holding you back. If someone has a control drama going on, that there's something afoot here that may be pulling your strings that you might not be aware of. Sure, at the end of the day, it's all our own stuff. It's all for our own our healing, our own path, all of that. But at the same time, this is very interesting. Look at these two. All right, so you got this one before. Fear of commitment, right? So the man is offering the love. Let's just say the divine masculine is offering the love, and the divine feminine is like, you want to love me like a ball and chain. Don't want to do this. Don't want to do this. And then here we've got, it's almost like that same couple, but he's got her on a leash. So there perhaps is a control thing going on here. You know, I gotta say, with the witch card, being a witch, knowing that trying to control other people never works. It always backfires. So I'm not feeling like maybe you're doing that or someone's casting at you, which nowadays we should know better. I mean, good luck. I've never seen it work out well, ever. And I've been doing this the majority of my life. But I will say that perhaps if you can get that love is not control, love is allow. Not passive allow either. It's like, no, you go do what you do. You want to control, you go ahead. You control you, but me, I'm taking my adventure. I am going to free myself. I am going to look within, pull back from this situation in order to bring myself into balance. Again, there's nothing here that speaks specifically of sexual romantic except that ecstasy card and love is all around you, which really, you put these two together, this could very much be a transcendent you and the divine kind of thing. But hence, oh, they just said to me, well, we're not going to tell them exactly what it is because they're a detective. You have to follow the clues. Now, look, I'm not a detective. I'm a mystic. But a mystic deals with mystery. I love how people just use, oh, the mystic this, the mystic that. It's like if anybody knew what mysticism was really about, if these people knew what mysticism really was, they would never call it that, because it is a path of uncertainty, and really very little on the outside helps except you do get clues. It's always about surrender to the divine, seek only truth, right? Be honorable, honor thyself. Love is divine power. Go read Anatomy of the Spirit by Caroline Myss. Brilliant book. And begin to learn the intuitive voices of the different chakras, because they are the tools in your Sherlock Holmes detective carryout bag. Cool. So overall, my Cancerians, it's so interesting. The three clarifiers that you got from the love pack are all problem cards. And they just, I didn't do it by design, but they all came out in that third row last. So this might be stuff that's going on deep inside of you, or stuff that you are not aware of here, but you're feeling down here. So do your crabby thing. Do the hermit crab. Pull inside. Go within. Move through the emotional stuff first. That might take a day or two. Well, you've got a 2-week process from full moon to new moon next, to love what rises, to embrace what's there, to sort of not burn off, but evaporate, heal some of that emotional stuff, bring that into balance so that you can really get the intuitive hits here and take your adventurous journey. Cool. Well, I wish you the very best and the very blessed of this full moon to new moon next. In fact, let's do this. May all the Cancerian sun, moon, rising signs in the collective be blessed with all that they need this full moon to new moon next for the well-being of all that I am now. And so it is. Cool. And so motivate. I love you all so very much. Clickety click, 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 clickety click, 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 click. But for now, hail, farewell, and blessed be.